child.
Alright. I have to admit, I didn't think I was going to be able to hit some of those notes. When I was out of breath a little bit.
Good job, Pastor Brad!
Amazing. You guys helped me out. Thank you so much. Well, hey, I want to start by asking you a question. How many guys have ever made a mess that you didn't want to fess up to? You ever made a mess that you didn't want to fess up to? I remember when I was about your age, maybe a little bit younger. I think I was like 4th or 5th grade, okay? And my brother and I were fighting, okay? Yeah, you can turn those on. That'd be awesome. My brother and I were fighting, and I did something to him that made him super mad at me, but I didn't want to fess up. I think I shoved him or something, whatever it was. Anyway, so he starts chasing me. And the thing about my brother is that don't get in a wrestling match with him, okay? He was just bigger than me. He was shorter than me, but heavier than me, you know what I mean? And it wasn't fat, it was muscle all right in the middle. And so anytime I got in a fight with him, it was not a good idea for me because he was like this little boulder with arms, okay? That's what my brother was. And so anyway, so I pushed him or something, whatever it was, said something, and I made him upset. So he starts chasing me, and I run out of the house, into the garage, I run out of the garage, around the side of the house, and as I'm going around the side of the house, this demonic, devilish thought enters my head. Because I'm coming around the corner of the back of the house, and I see our shed right next to me. It's like the shed was right around the back corner of the house. And right leaning up against the shed was a shovel. I mean, it was like a split-second thought, but it was evil. And I'm running past, and I just reach my arm out, and I grab the shovel. Right? And I run, and I get into the defensive position up on top of our picnic table. And it's like, don't come at me! Don't come at me! I'm going to swing this thing! And me, being an upstanding brother, I want to demonstrate to him that you should always tell the truth. You know what I mean? It is a badge of honor that I was telling you, I will swing this at you. I am telling the truth. And I'm I don't want to lie to him, you know what I mean? So he starts coming at me, and then this was dumb, but I wasn't even thinking about it. I just swing the shovel, right? And he just keeps coming. And I opened his forehead. Yeah. Talk about a mess I didn't want to clean up. Not only, obviously, there's the physical, bloody mess. I didn't want to clean that up. But there was this relational mess, because not only that, now all of a sudden there's this huge relational gap between me and him. But now I know I'm in trouble. Right? I'm no, it's fine. I'll band it up. And I'm trying to patch it up. Don't tell Dad. Please don't tell. I'll do anything to make you happy right now. Just don't tell Dad. Right? And obviously he told Dad, and I got in trouble. Hey, you can't hide an open forehead from Dad. And it was a mess that I really didn't want to fess up to. And because I was so scared that based on what I had done, I knew I was going to be in trouble with my dad. I think sometimes we see God this way. And we look at our own lives and we see the mess that our life is, right? Whether it's stuff that we've done, I did this to you, I was disrespectful, I talked back, I used words I shouldn't have used, whether it was something I thought, right? I looked at whatever it was last night on the internet, that kind of thing. I was bullying somebody online, something like that. Whether it's something I've done, or something has been done to me, right? Some of you, I just know this because I know some of your stories, that something has been done to you. Now that makes you feel like your life is a mess. It makes you feel like you are unworthy. And so when it comes to God, we come to church, and we come to youth group, we maybe even just think about reading our own Bible, and it comes to God, and we look through the pages, and so we're I don't belong here, because there's this mess in my life that I don't feel like makes me worthy. I don't feel like cleaning it up because I feel like it makes me unworthy before God. And I just can't do this God thing. I can't read my Bible. I can't pray because the second I do that, I'm acknowledging the absolute mess that my life is, that's in my life, whatever it is. And so when we do finally have the courage to go to church or go to youth group, pray, read our Bible, or whatever it is, listen to worship music, we feel like We feel like we have to apologize for something. We feel like we're unworthy for something. We feel like we're just waiting on God to point out the mess that we're in. And I think sometimes we start drifting further and further and further from God because we just sense this distance over time. We just never really felt like pressing into a relationship with God. I remember when I was younger, and growing up, I used to go to this church that had these beautiful stained glass windows, gorgeous stained glass windows. And there was this one stained glass window, and it was a picture of Jesus. Okay? It was this picture of Jesus, and he was in this meadow, and he had the Mona Lisa look. You know that look where, you guys ever seen the painting of Mona Lisa, or anywhere that you go, she's still looking at you? It's weird. If you look at the Mona Lisa, anywhere you go, she's still looking at you. And there was this face that Jesus had. It was just like, his eyes never blinked. His smile never got above halfway, and he was always looking at you. His face was just kind of tilted to the side with his eyes, and he was just like, anywhere you went in the room, he was looking at you. And I remember going to church there, and whether it was in middle school, like I was a bully. I was just such a mean kid in middle school, I'll be honest. I'm not proud of it, I'm ashamed of it. But I was a really mean kid in middle school. And I show up to church, and I'm like, oh my word, he knows. He's just staring at me. And I can't go anywhere in this church without him looking at me. Or maybe it was in high school, and I'm like, and I found a computer that no one was, it was like in the back of the computer lab that no one could watch. And I found porn on it, and I felt dirty, and I was just like, and then I was like, man, I'm wrestling with this evil, ugly, disgusting habit. And I go to church, and I'm like, oh my word, Jesus knows, and I'm in trouble, and he never isn't looking at me. And there was this feeling that my life was a mess, therefore, I don't belong in God's presence. I don't belong near Jesus, and so I just didn't feel like pressing into that very much, and there was this distance in my heart, and it started to grow cold a little bit. The reality is this, though, and I want to prove this with Scripture tonight, in the next 10 minutes that we have. The reality is this. That is the exact opposite way to look at things. The way I felt in high school, in middle school, that's not the way to think about it. And I think God proves that when he came to earth as a little baby boy. I want to show you in the book of Matthew, chapter 1. I'm going to read the book of Matthew, chapter 1, and I'm going to focus on 7 particular scenarios or people just to show this point, that Jesus was born into a huge mess to prove that he's not scared of your mess. Jesus was born into a mess to show you that he's not nervous about entering your mess and being part of your life, no matter what kind of mess you have. Here it is, Matthew chapter 1, starting in verse 18. This is how the birth of Jesus came to be. His mother Mary was pledged to marry Joseph, but before they came together, she was found to be with child through the Holy Spirit, because Joseph, her husband, was a righteous man. He didn't want to expose her to public disgrace, and so in that in mind, he resolved to divorce her quietly. Now think about this. Think about this. Jesus is born to somebody who's never done it before. I hope you're tracking with me here. Okay, I want to try to keep this PG. But like, Mother Mary, she's a virgin. She's pure. She's clean. Right? Mary and Joseph, they're engaged. Joseph proposes to Mary. She says yes. It's great. And all of a sudden, one day, just imagine this, she's pregnant. And she goes to Joseph and she's like, Joseph, I got some news for you. Right? I got some news for you, Joe. I'm pregnant. And obviously he knows he didn't do it. So he's like, what? It's like, hey. What? You know what I mean? And so Joseph's like, what? Who's the guy? She's like, no. It's cool because God did it. And he's like, okay, sure. Blame it on God. Right. No, for real. And Joseph is outraged. He's instantly mad. And he's going to like get rid of her. But he's a man of honor, so he's going to do it privately. Because think about this. Now Joseph has to go into work every day. He's a carpenter. He goes to work, he's serving people. People stop buying from Joseph because he's like, you are engaged to a pretty promiscuous woman. Your wife is pregnant without you. He's like, no, it's cool, guys. God did it. And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Can you imagine the anxiety that Mary is feeling now? Everybody is staring at her and putting her down because of what is assumedly true of her, even though it's not. People think she's a skank. People think she's, never mind. People think she is very promiscuous, okay? She's out there, she's playing the field with any guy, she's loose, whatever, she's a player. But she's not, because God put baby Jesus inside of her. Can you imagine the anxiety? Anytime she goes anywhere, people are looking at her. Mary's life is now filled with anxiety at some level. Okay? Now the Lord gave her peace. But then the amount of drama that Joseph is experiencing. Can you imagine the drama that Joseph is experiencing anywhere he goes, trying to still keep business, trying to still keep friends, trying to still keep some sort of reputation, even though people are talking about them all the time. Mary and Joseph's lives will never be the same. And then Luke chapter 2, I'm just going to summarize this for you really fast for sake of time. Luke chapter 2, the governor over the whole land says, you know what? We need to count everybody. So everybody go back to your hometown. Mary and Joseph now have to pack up and travel, whether walking or on a donkey. And let me just tell you, because none of you have ever experienced this. When you're pregnant, you don't want any kind of bump. Right? I'm driving and sometimes I'll hit like a pothole. And I remember when Christine was pregnant and it was just like not a good idea. Right? Like I got in trouble every time I hit a pothole when she was pregnant. And it was like, we're driving in a car with shocks. We're driving in a car that's built for 2019. Like Mary is riding a donkey loads of miles while she's pregnant. Can you talk about the amount of stress that Joseph is feeling? Joseph, slow this donkey down! Or that Mary's feeling. And then they get to Bethlehem and they knock on every hotel door. Book. They call every Airbnb. Book. They call every hostel. They call anybody's house they can possibly knock on, and everybody's house is full. I will say this. In a very comfortable, memory-foam, queen-size bed, my pregnant wife was still very uncomfortable. Now, Mary is now trying to find a place to sleep in the back of a barn that someone said, oh, by the way, yeah, you can move the cows out of the way and sleep where they used to sleep. Yeah, exactly. Talk about the amount of stress that they're going through trying to live in Bethlehem, stay in Bethlehem during the time of the census. And then, okay, it gets better, right? Then it gets better. We had 2 babies. They were both born in a hospital. Medical professionals all the way around. Amazing experience as far as births can possibly go. I guess it's not a fun experience, but like, they were healthy. Mary is trying to push out baby Jesus and avoid the cow doo when he falls out, when they pull him out, right? Nothing to clean him up with. Oh, and it gets better. I remember when my son was first born, and we swallowed him up afterwards, and we put him in this nice little, these blankets were preheated. They put a little handmade cap on him. They put him in this nice little cozy bed made for babies. And he still had trouble sleeping through the night. Guess who definitely didn't sleep through the night, right? Like, now, Mary and Joseph put baby Jesus inside of a box that they just pulled the dirty straw out of. Clearly, Mary and Joseph did not sleep that night. Or probably the next 2 nights after that. Silent night, holy night, yeah, right. That song is the biggest miracle I've ever heard of. Silent night. I'm trying to say this. The amount of worry that Mary and Joseph probably went through for the baby's health, for the baby's safety, was incredible. For everything involved. Like, you got Mary who's filled with anxiety. You got Joseph and his drama. You got the census, which was stressful. You got the birth, which caused them so much worry. You got the manger, which is uncomfortable. And on top of that, the king of the land is trying to kill your specific baby. He hears about baby Jesus, and these wise men come in from afar. They're like, hey, where's your king? And he's like, you're looking at him, right? And they're like, no, like the new one, the new king. He was just born, right? And Herod's like, what? Again? He's like, you know what? Why don't you bring that baby to me? I want to worship him. And so they go, and an angel reveals to them in a dream, hey, you can't go back to Herod because he's going to kill that baby. So they leave, and Herod gets so upset. He's like, you know what? Screw it. Every baby born 2 years and under, we'll kill them all. Like, like absolute genocide of all 2-year-old babies. So, you know what they have to do? They have to flee to Egypt. They got a 2-year-old baby boy, and And they're going to run away. They're a refugee from their country, okay, right? These are illegal refugees now inside of their own country. They're getting deported because they can't even keep their babies safe in their own country. And so they're fleeing for asylum to Egypt, filled with fear. And can you just imagine this moment? Mary and Joseph, they were promised this amazing thing. You guys are going to get to raise God as a baby. You are going to get to have God live in your home, and you get to raise Him as a little child. And all of the hope that filled their hearts, can you imagine this? They're fleeing to Egypt so that their baby doesn't die. Can you imagine the amount of defeat they're feeling? I say all these things because I want to raise this point. Maybe you've experienced this in your life. Hey, Elliot, can you show that list of adjectives? It's like 6-7 slides from now. And maybe you're feeling all of these things in your life. Anxiety, drama. Maybe you're feeling an amount of stress. You're feeling worried, uncomfortable, fearful. Maybe you even feel defeated. Can I promise you this? Jesus gets it. He understands what you're feeling. Jesus was born into a mess to show you He's not scared of your mess. Let me say that again because it's so important. Jesus was born into a mess to prove to you that He's not scared of getting close to you even if there's a mess in your life. You got a mess, you got fear, you've got anxiety, you've got worry, you've got drama, you feel defeated, you're uncomfortable, you're feeling stressed. Guess what? Jesus wants to be close. He wants to be the light that lights up your darkness. He wants to be the one who says, you know what? It's okay. I've got it under control. I know you're out of control. I know you don't know all the answers. I know this time of year is bringing up a whole lot of different feelings that you haven't dealt with before. Jesus is not scared of your mess. He was born into a mess to show you He's not scared of your mess. I want to land with this point. The light of the world, Jesus Christ, He wants to be your light. Jesus came to bring light into a dark world. And maybe there's some moments in your life where you're feeling a little bit of darkness, where there's something in your heart, a pet sin that you're struggling with. Maybe it's something happening in your home, and you're feeling like, man, there's just some darkness here. I don't want to go home tonight. I don't want to go home after school. I'm actually not looking forward to Christmas break because there's something that I'm trying to avoid. Maybe there's some sort of darkness. Jesus wants to be a light for you. He wants to be the one that lights up the darkness in your life. The light of the world wants to be your light. He came into this mess. He was born into a mess to prove to you that He's not scared of your mess. I'd encourage you this holiday season, if you feel something that's dark in your life, feel something like it's a mess, lean in closer to Jesus. Draw closer to Jesus because He wants to be close to you. Let's pray. Jesus, thank you so much for being the light of the world on Christmas. Thank you for entering into a mess to show that you're not scared of our mess, and I pray that you would draw us closer to you this Christmas season. Amen. Hey, before you guys